in this new day and age of hygiene, there's a lot of people talking about how to adequately clean not only your own scuba equipment, but especially if you're running a school, do training and have divers using the same regulator, different divers using the same regulator today and tomorrow and the next day. And so, of course, afterwards you normally wash off salt or fresh water from your second stages and first stages and BCs, and you might use some kind of antiseptic solution diluted into the water you're washing it in. But with our new coronavirus, COVID-19 that's here, there needs to be some new guidelines, of course, on how to deal with not only all other diseases that can be communicated by respiratory passages between humans, but also this new virus. So if you want to take care of your customers and your divers, and not only them, but your staff and yourself, we need to be cleaning correctly every day. This could also be something on a business point of view where you're showing your customers and your staff how much you do care by cleaning adequately. Typically you would be using a bleach solution to take care of COVID-19, 10% bleach solution. There's something called Stearamine, which is a branded product. You can use Steamarine tablets or liquids. There's also any kind of cleaning solution that's quaternary ammonium compound based, and you can use that as a liquid and dilute it and then wash it. Wash your second stages, snorkels, masks, maybe even suits in it. That would take care of taking out this virus. Many people won't have access to these different kinds of disinfectants, especially now where they're in such high demand. So what we found is that actually you can break down COVID-19 and other transmissible diseases by using really basically hot soapy water. The hot soapy water will not work unless you use it with some kind of brush. So you can't just wash it in the soapy water and it comes off. You need to actually activate it. So really simply, we can use some local dishwashing liquid. Of course, we're going to clean it all off when we're finished. And we're going to use a brush. So should I just pour my dishwashing liquid in and then put my second stage in and make sure it goes in through the mouthpiece? I'll take the mouthpiece off so that you can see more clearly. That'd be okay, but it may not effectively clean it, right? So what we're saying is that maybe to clean something more effectively, I'm not going to service the second stage, but I might take off the mouthpiece and I can put it into my hot soapy solution and give it a scrub, right? And really try and make it clean before the next diver uses it. Now, without servicing the second stage, without taking too much time, perhaps I could take out the front cover and clean inside and then put it back together. Bearing in mind that the diver's gas passage is coming down this hose and going into the diver's mouth on demand. And then when they exhale, they actually exhale back through here and it comes out the exhaust diaphragm at the bottom. So you've got inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation. So everything that's coming out of the diver's lungs is going to end up on the inside of the second stage. So really, really good to clean that off. I would suggest after every person uses it. So nice and simply, just to take off the front cover, if you take your finger even, but maybe a tool, a brass tool, and push out the retaining pin. So then your retaining pin can come out of the front diaphragm cover, and then you can open it up with your hand here. And you can see I've taken off the purge cover, the diaphragm cover, and there's a shim inside here. So you can see all of these pieces. And of course, here's our diaphragm retainer and our diaphragm. This is not being cleaned, guys. I took this straight from a school and I wanted to show you exactly what's in there. Now, I don't think that they've cleaned this for a while, let alone every day. Okay, now that's it. That's all you have to do. We don't have to take out the Delrin ring inside the diaphragm. But what I think would be great to see is to clean a clean diaphragm so that every piece of gas that you're breathing in doesn't touch the diaphragm like this. So if we come over and over here, what I've got is some I've got some hot water here, and I've got my washing basin here. So I'm going to put in some dishwashing liquid, a little bit of hot water to make a warm water solution. It's good. And then I put my second stage in. So I'm just going to let that soak for a bit while I get my mouthpiece. I can throw all these pieces in here. I may as well wash them while we're here. And then my diaphragm, I can check the water. It's a little hot. Yeah. It's hot. It's not warm, it's probably hot, but maybe a little more cold. That's good. So the heat will actually activate the dishwashing solution to make it a bit easier to clean, and also, of course, it's killing any viruses, bacteria that's built up in here. So not using these quaternary ammonium compounded products, we really need to make sure that we do this properly. Now, obviously, if I'm doing 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 of these a day, it's going to go a little bit faster. And this is really a demonstration. You should probably be able to take off this front cover, clean this up, and clean all this up in a minute for each one. It really doesn't take very long. So now, see, I'm actually rubbing the diaphragm with my thumb. I don't want to use the toothbrush on there. Maybe I could get a really soft rag also to rub on that to activate the hot soapy water. And here's my church cover. I'll clean it a bit. And my shim and my retaining ring. Diaphragm cover, retainer here. And now my second stage. Now, of course, there's still the exhaust diaphragm inside, right? Now I've soaked it for a minute or so. And I'm not going to touch the lever very much, and I don't even want to push the lever down. I don't want any of that water going back up inside the low pressure hose. So I'm just running my toothbrush around inside where we're breathing as well. I can just be a little careful. There's a Viva inside. I don't want to touch that too strongly. A little bit on the diaphragm. I would suggest that what we've done now, where we've touched really a lot of the inside of the housing of the second stage where the breathing happens, and there's been hot soapy water there, is a lot better than just dunking it or soaking it in the wash tub for a few minutes. So that's done. Now I could have another tub with my fresh water. I could put it back into my normal washing area now. I'll just wash off these with fresh water, guys, so there's no more soapy water on them. And a better way to do, I'll have to waste this water, but a better way to do would be that I actually have a secondary freshwater bowl that I can take from one to the other. This is cold water, guys, just to rinse everything. That's done. Now, if you were really servicing all this, you would take apart all of this lever and poppet and low pressure seat assembly. We're not doing that, and we actually don't even have to dry all this out because we're taking it apart, cleaning it. But if you would like to, you can blow it out like in some of our other videos. You can dry blow it out. It's not necessarily required. Nice and clean. You can see our diaphragm looks really clean. I'm not going to even check it. This is not a service, it's a clean. Okay, so I'll put my diaphragm in like so, and I make sure, of course, that I check with the rounded side of my brass tool got the diaphragm sitting nicely. Take my diaphragm retaining ring and I will put it like so into the side of the housing. Put in my shim. Now I'm going to take my front cover and line that up correctly so that the tabs are in the front correct section. Now of course I'm going to now put it on. I start backwards and listen for the sound. There's the click. I'll do it again so you can hear. Click. Then I can go forward to avoid any kind of threading. And now I'm just going to rotate it around there, and I can see that I can put in my lock pin that side. Okay. Now my mouthpiece is cleaned as well. Put my mouthpiece back on, and then I would put my a lot of people use cable ties, of course. You can use a cable tie, or there's the genuine mouthpiece retainer that you can attach. And that's it. So I would suggest you could do that in a minute for each one. If you have 10 regs and in your school, then you probably have 20 second stages. It takes you 20 minutes at the end of the day. You can really show off to all of your divers and your staff and show how much you care about them. If you can get the quaternary ammonium compound based, much better, or use the 10% bleach solution or stearamine, which is great. Otherwise, hot soapy water is your friend. And stay safe and healthy and promote hygiene and even servicing, of course, but this is a great start.